Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. In today's video, I will be updating my reading journal for the month of February. So February has officially come and gone, guys, and it's time. It's time for me to see how I did with my reading challenges and update my reading journal a little bit. If this is your first time here on my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you stumbled upon this video and you found me. Please make sure that you hit subscribe so that you can go ahead and be a part of my little corner here of the internet and see the progression of everything I'm reading each month and how I'm updating my reading journal. So if you're not new and you've been with me for a while, you know that I have been keeping track of everything that I'm reading on my reading journal. I'm almost done setting up all my challenges, not quite there yet. But today we are just going to go ahead and update the month of February. We're not creating any new pages. I will walk you through, in case you're new here, in case you need a refresher, I will walk you through each of my spreads as I'm getting to the different pages. And for these update videos, I just kind of walk you through my reading month and I go ahead and print out some of my little book covers and add those to my pages and just kind of tell you a little bit about my reading month. And if you're looking for more videos on how to set up my reading journal, or if you're looking for more videos on how to set up your reading journal, I have a ton of them that I have put together. They're all labeled reading journal part 1, 2, 3, I think all the way to like 16 or 17. It is a very long setup to get my reading journal going, and I still am not fully done. But those videos are all there for you. All right, guys, so we have officially gotten to the first page that I do want to update, and that is going to be the books that I read in the month of February. So I read 8 books in January. These are the titles, the authors, and the ratings. We're going to go ahead and do that now for the 6 books I believe I was able to read in the month of February. So for this, I believe I've been using my extra fine Pilot Razor Point pen in this brown color. This is like one of my go-tos. Absolutely love this pen. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this updated with you guys. As usual, I will speed you through it and then I will come back and update you and share some information about these books with you. Guys, so I went ahead and updated my list of books read. So let me go ahead. I forgot I was underlining my titles. I love to properly punctuate my titles, but sometimes it's difficult to fit the underlining, but I think it looks good like that. All right, so the first thing I went ahead and read this month was Appointment with Death by Agatha Christie, and I went ahead and gave that one 3 stars. Then I read Ligeia by Edgar Allan Poe, gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Homeschooled by Stefan Merrill Block, and I gave that 5 stars. Really, really enjoyed that. The Wasp Trap was next by Mark Edwards, gave that 4 stars. My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney, gave that 4 stars. And then lastly, Dracul #1, the manga by Shinichi Sakamoto, and I gave that one 2 stars. All right, so by the way, if you are interested, obviously, in more of my thoughts, I can point you into several directions for a little bit. I do want to tell you the Wasp Trap was the February selection for my book club, my Haunted Library book club, which I have a Discord where we talk about the books. So if you're interested in joining a book club that reads primarily horror, mystery, and thrillers, join me in my book club. I do have a live show on the Wasp Trap that I went ahead and did last week, and that is up on my channel under lives. You are welcome to see that discussion and hear my complete thoughts on that with my book club. So I'll go ahead and point you in that direction. If you want to know more about My Husband's Wife and the Wasp Trap and the 7.5 Deaths of Heaven hardcastle, which I finished the first week, actually the first 2 days of March. If you want to know more about those thrillers, I have a vlog up on my channel. I will, of course, link all of these things down below, but there is a vlog where I give you my complete thoughts on each of those thrillers. It was a thriller vlog that I posted recently. All right, so now we are ready for the Goodreads challenge genre categories. So let's go ahead and fill these in. You guys know I absolutely love my Tombow brush pens. These are it. I do have a complete review up on my channel if you are interested in all of my thoughts, but I think these brush pens are phenomenal. All right, so let's go ahead and begin marking these down. This is fairly quick, so I'll try to do this process with you. So first I'm going to be marking down Appointment with Death, which is a mystery. So I do need my 535 blue. So I go ahead and mark this right here. And again, this is just my key that has all of my Tombow marker numbers. That way I know what I am picking. And then here you get to see it in its visual representation. Next we have Ligeia, which is a horror short story. And that's going to be in this orange color. So I'm going to mark that. And next we have Homeschooled, which is a memoir. That's going to be my 245 green. How funny these are landing one under the other. I always think it's funny when that happens. Next, The Wasp Trap, which is a thriller, which is going to be this very soft 772 pink. All right, then I also read My Husband's Wife, which is a thriller as well. Gotta mark that one down. And then lastly, I read The Dracul Midnight Children Volume 1, which is manga. And manga is this brown color, which I think is $8.99. Yep, it's this one. All right, so there are all of my colors, and I do enjoy doing this simply because it lets me very quickly just at a glance see, okay, so far this year I've read 2 mangas, I've read 4 thrillers, I have read 3 horror books. I've read 2 memoirs. I have read 1 sci-fi book. I've read 1 mystery book. I've read 1 classic, you know, so I enjoy that. I like visually being able to just see how I'm reading and know, oh, okay, I guess I've read more thrillers than anything else. And second place has been horror books, you know, so I do enjoy that. All right. So next we have my 26 and 26. I don't think I read any from this list. I think I need to be more purposeful when I'm building these TBRs because I am neglecting this a little tiny bit. I know it's only February, guys, but we got to keep on track. You know, I haven't marked down any of these. My 25 and 25 leftovers, I have also not made any progress, so I need to kind of make that a priority. For Third Time's a Charm, I have read 1 so far. And then my 13 books left over from 2023, I've read 1 of them. I finished this one, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, but that counts for March. And I will be reading This Thing Between Us. That will count hopefully for March, maybe April. All right, so I think that's all we can mark for that. Now I'm going to work on my ABC challenge. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So I'm going to just write down my titles. This is simply how I track the different books that I am reading. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my Inkjoy pen. This is one of the Click Inkjoys 0.7. And I'm using this brown color. Once I get to the second one, I kind of switch colors around. It depends on whatever I'm working on and how it's looking. This one, I think I've done this as my secondary color. So I'll go ahead and leave that one out in case I need that. But I'll go ahead and start writing these down. And of course, I will fast forward you through this part. Alright guys, so I went ahead and updated my ABC challenge. Pretty good. I got some new ones. I got an A, Appointment with Death, an H for Homeschooled, an L for Ligeia, an M for My Husband's Wife, a W for The Wasp Trap. Did I get all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, so those were my 6 books that I read this month. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and continue with the shelfie. So I'm going to go ahead and write down the titles of the books. I'll go ahead and color the spines. I normally like to just be able to match the color of the spine. I think I'm going to use my Pilot multi-ball pen that writes on everything. It doesn't really smear. It's really, really good. I believe these are discontinued, guys, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're looking for something similar, you know, there are alternatives. These are pretty good too. The micro perm pens are pretty good. These, though, I believe, sadly, are discontinued. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and begin coloring in my book titles. And I'll go ahead and fast forward you through this part and then bring you back once I'm done. All right, guys, so I went ahead and added my books to my shelfie. Now we're going to move on to my monthly favorites. So clearly my monthly favorite for February was Homeschooled, my 5-star book. And it's time for us to get to printing because I do need to print quite a few of our stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that. And I might fast forward you through it after I show you how to do that first one. So for those of you who have seen my channel before, you're well aware that I love my Canon Ivy. I have already saved all the little book covers that I need to print. So all I really need to do is go ahead and launch my Canon Ivy app on my phone. And I need to begin with my collages. So I do make a list, guys, of everything I need to print. It's like a messy, ongoing kind of list, but I do like having it. And the reason I like doing that and printing in batches is because I do print 4 book covers per little sticker sheet. So I like to save them. That way I'm not wasting sticker paper. So what I end up doing is I have my list here next to me. So I'll go ahead and look at my list and start, you know, just kind of as I'm finding them. Some books I need like 4 or 5 of them because, you know, I'm fulfilling different challenges with them. Some I just need 1 or 2. So I just kind of go to my list. Here's My Husband's Wife. So I start scratching it off my list as I am clicking them. I need another one of those, My Husband's Wife. I need another one of those, My Husband's Wife. And I need 1 homeschooled. So right now I have 4. So I'm going to then hit print. And I did not turn this on. So let me go ahead and turn on my Canon Ivy. I will have all of this linked for you in case you're interested. This is an older model, okay, just in case you're trying to buy, your own and you don't see this one. This one's a really old one. I've been using my Canon Ivy for years, guys. And the new one is very tempting, but I think I'm going to hold off a little bit on getting the new ones. But there are beautiful second versions of the Canon Ivies, and they're just wonderful. It's my favorite way of printing things for my different journals. It makes the process very easy. I love the compatibility with my phone. I have printed using my Cricut before, but I feel like that's more of a process to be able to set up all my little book covers on there and then print them and then send them to my Cricut to cut. I feel like this is so much quicker. So as you can see, it's already printing. I'm looking for my scissors so I can go ahead and show you how I cut them and set them up. Once I've shown you a couple of them, then I'll go ahead and fast forward you through the rest of it. But it's so easy. It's so quick. They come out very nice because it is photo paper. And the 4-in-1 sticker sheet is the size that works for me best. But you can play around with it and see what's convenient for you and your journaling style. See, this is how it ends up looking. This is the size of the sticker sheet, so you can fit 4 of those on there. So I'm going to set this to the side and now begin printing my next batch. And then I'll go ahead and show you how easy it is for me to just kind of cut those and do what I have to do. All right, so I had these. So let's see what else I need. So I do need another homeschooled and another homeschooled. And I do need another homeschooled. And I need best offer wins. And I do a lot of this pre-planned, okay? I go through my journal and figure out everything I need to print because that does take a little bit. I can show you that process if you guys are interested. I can also show you how I do that mapping out or planning. I just like to kind of streamline things for you. That way when I'm journaling with you guys, it's a little bit easier and the process is a little quicker. But you let me know if that's something you want me to show you as well. So while that's printing, I'm going to go ahead and cut these. And so I went ahead and cut that one there. Then I'm going to cut these down the middle. And same thing here. And these are wonderful because they stick very well, but you can also like remove them if you feel like you made a mistake and it didn't land where you wanted it to land. So we have it there. And now let me go ahead and set my other ones to print. So I do need Lady Tremaine. Let's go ahead and mark that one off. And I do need Dracula Volume 1. And I do need The Fisherman. And I do need The Secret Lives of Murderers' Wives. So I found 4 more. Let me go ahead and set those to print. And then I'm going to begin cutting while those print. And I just have kind of like a little system set up for myself. You can print these ahead of time if you want to. I used to do that. I did that a lot last year, print ahead of time. But a lot of you wanted to see this process and requested that in my videos. So now I've been doing it with you guys. You can also just like whenever you're printing, what I like to do is kind of put all, if I'm not going to use them immediately, I like to find like a little sack or a little, I usually use this little gift bag thing so that I don't lose them because they are very small and you can misplace them on your desk. So just kind of, if you're printing ahead of time, print those and put them in a little bag somewhere so you don't lose them. All right, so now let me go ahead and move back, see what else I need. So I do need an appointment with death. That should be a little bit lower. Let me set up my 4x4 again. And I'm going to go to appointment with death is there. Let me scratch that one off. And then The Secret Lives, I did already. I do need another homeschooled. Some you end up needing a lot of, others you'll see you start to not need as many of. I will also be needing, let's see, the others that I will be needing. All right, so I've gone ahead and selected the next couple that I needed, and now that's printing. I'll begin cutting these that I just used. And again, you can do 2 to a page, or you can do a full sticker for 1. I just find that for my sized journal, these little ones are the ones that work the best. All right, so let me go ahead and cut these very quickly. And then I'm going to go ahead and put away my Canon Ivy. I do like to power it fully off. The battery is not as good as it used to be, simply because I've had it for so long. But yeah, we're going to go ahead now and just start using those that I just printed. So my favorite book for February was indeed Homeschooled. So I will be adding that here. And it's a real easy process to just peel off the back. And then I go ahead and put it right on there, and it's looking great. So happy with it. All right, so now my bracket. Again, I do need Homeschooled as my favorite for February. That is now in competition with 11/22/63, which was my favorite book of January. I like to draw these out in pencil, and then I erase them. It just helps me keep things nice and organized. I'm going to label this as my February book. And now these two are in competition for my favorite of that first quarter. All right, so here we have our 5-star reads. So I only had one 5-star read this month, and that was Homeschooled. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. Perfect. So I've read 3 5-star books from the beginning of the year. Not bad. All right, so now we're going to look at our different covers and try to fill this in. So for orange, I'm going to put Appointment with Death. And this is the Read the Rainbow challenge. It's a very easy, low maintenance kind of challenge. You just look at the colors that are prevalent in the cover of the book you read, and you kind of try to fit them in. Then blue, I'm going to put Homeschooled. As you see, I am making a lot of progress with this challenge. So if you want to do a challenge that makes you feel pretty good about yourself and that you can complete quickly, this is one of those that's pretty simple. And it looks so nice. And I've been doing it for the past couple years. I'll get rid of that there. Okay. Let's see if I had any more. I think I went ahead and wanted Lygia for white. So Lygia is going to go right here. And I think I wanted My Husband's Wife for teal. So we're going to put that there. And again, this is however you want to do it. You know, if you want to do the gold with a key, if you want to do the pink from the letters, it's completely up to you. You do this however you'd like. Again, this is something I like to repeat a lot. This is for fun. We're just having fun here, you know? So I still need to read a pink book, something with silver on the cover, and something with gold on the cover. All right, so we are going to move on to our Tetris game. Oh, so much fun. So for my book Tetris, I do use my Crayola Super Tips. I keep them all together. These are the colors I've been using. I have quite a few packs of Crayola Super Tips that are completed in their boxes. For this, I just kind of have the ones that I'm using for Tetris, and I keep this in my little update area so that I don't struggle to find the correct colors all the time. So I like doing this in the same order that I read the books in. That way I'm not cheating and trying to fit them in however they work best. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing this. I basically find the book that I'm going to do. Let me demonstrate with the first one, and then I'll fast forward you through the rest. So my first book was Appointment with Death, which is a mystery. So this is the little shape I need to draw out, and I will go ahead and place it to wherever I want. So if you've played Tetris before, you know the little pieces come down here in the middle and we kind of move them around. So I have these 3 empty right here. So I think I'm going to use mystery for those 3 right here. So I would go ahead and color this in and color this in, color this in, and basically you just color in the shape that it made as it fell. All right, so let me go ahead and do the other 5 books that I read, and then I will bring you back. All right, so there we are. We seem to be doing very well with our Tetris. And in my mind, you know, I imagine it like falling and then me tucking it in. Like I go through the whole thing to make sure that I'm playing it right. This is the first year I'm doing this one, and I've had so much fun with the book Tetris. It's been a lot of fun. All right, so let me go ahead and get my purple pen. It's a dark purple, I believe. Yeah. So for the Haunted Library Book Club, my book club, we did read The Wasp Trap, and I did give this 4 stars. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out my 4 stars here. Last month, we read The Place Where They Buried Your Heart. That was a 5-star read for me. And this month, we are reading We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. Hopefully, it will be another 5 stars. So for my Besties Book Club, I have officially finished the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, but like I told you, I finished it the first few days of March. So I won't be updating that right now. I will be updating that in March. For my Read Christie challenge, I did read Appointment with Death, and I gave that one 3 stars. So I'm going to go ahead and begin coloring that one in. I'm trying to see what I want to use for that. I think I'll use my click art for those. I think I'm going to be using this click art, zebra click art. I don't know if you guys have used these, but they're wonderful and they come in a bunch of colors. So I did give this 3 stars. Let me go ahead and color this in. And I do have videos up on my channel of me designing all these. This is a stamp that I do have. I have gotten some questions on that stamp. I did buy that as a pack from Notebook Therapy. Okay, so it did come in like a stamp kit, a stamp set. So I didn't buy that by itself, but there are quite a few star rating stamps you can get online. It's just mine came with that set from Notebook Therapy. Love Notebook Therapy. All right, so here's my 3-star rating. Went ahead and updated that. Now we have to do our Buzzword reading challenge. This is from Books and Lala. Kayla comes up with the Buzzword challenge each year. I've been participating in this for years. And this is the buzzword for the title, and this is for the cover. And so I do these I do have planned out a book for each one. I have a video where I filmed myself picking my books that I wanted to use. I'll link that down below for you guys, but I also like to let this happen organically. So although I did have a parts of a house on the title selected for October that I planned on reading in October if I didn't get to it before, I had a plan for that, but I did read Fences and I said, hey, I read Fences, I'm gonna count it already. So that just is a matter of how you like to do it. Do you like to do it the month of? I kind of do it year round. I have tried doing it the month of. It adds a little bit too much constraint to my TBR and I don't love that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put homeschooled, which is a 1-word title. I know it's separated here, but it is a 1 word. So I'm putting it for that one. Then for Me or My, I read My Husband's Wife. So I'm going to be using My Husband's Wife to fulfill Me or My. And I do come up with some generic rules for myself. Like I don't let myself use something more than once, you know. I kind of just use it one time and that's it. So I can't have any like duplicates, you know. Then for a book with a border, I did pick Dracul Volume 1. That goes there. And then for Doors, Keys, and Locks, I am using My Husband's Wife for this one. And I know you're thinking, well, didn't you say you don't use it twice? I mean within that one challenge. So for the cover challenge, I don't use the same book double, but these are 2 separate challenges, so I do use them separately. All right, so it's looking great so far. Now we're going to move on to my years of publication. So I did change this up. I know if you're a watcher of my videos on my channel, you saw my thought process on how to do this. And what I came up with was this method where I more or less have this divided by decades. Space is allotted in my mind, right? And I decided to just color coordinate it. Like that blue was for January. My February color is like neon pink. So I'm going to be using this neon pink. For these, what I've been using is the Sharpie S-Note highlighters. I like using these a lot as markers because I do find that they're very pigmented, that it's very dark. So I do use them for this. So now I'm going to look at the years of publication for everything that I read, and I'm going to place it more or less where I think it would go. So I'm going to start working on that, and I'll fast forward you through this process. All right, guys, so I have updated my books and I'm liking this method. I know it's not in order. I know it's kind of, I had my 1938 here and my 1838 here. I still feel like it makes more sense to me than how I did it last year. So I am liking it so far. We'll see how it continues to play out. So I have not read How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates yet. The February selection for Literally Dead Book Club, which is Kayla's book club from Books and Lala. But I will. And I am going to be updating this with The Fisherman, which is her pick for March. Hopefully I can get to it at some point. If not, it'll still carry over to the following months. I did not read anything from Kindle Unlimited, so there's nothing for me to update. I'm still reading Dear Debbie. Can you guys believe that? If you've been with me for a while, you know that I read my Kindle mostly at night. I read my Kindle Unlimited books. Usually, like, it'll be like a fast-paced thriller. I started Dear Debbie a while back, and I've been just so tired when I'm going to bed that I'm barely reading on the Kindle before bed, and when I read, it's like I fall asleep after a page, and Dear Debbie's just not capturing me yet. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm still reading that. You know, we'll see how that goes. All right, so now we're going to play the blurb game. So the blurb game can get a little complicated. Basically, I look at a book and I see who has blurbed it, right? So the books that I read this month, I look to see if I can find who blurbed it. And if I have that author, for example, I'm going to look at this one, right? Let's do this one together so you know how I play. So The Wasp Trap I read this month. I see here a blurb by Lisa Jewell. I have plenty of Lisa Jewell books, but I'm still going to look to see if it's blurbed by anybody else. Here it's blurbed by Alex Michaelides. I have read all three of the books that Alex Michaelides has written, so I don't really have another one of his books that, you know, that I can do. Let's see if there's another blurb. There's many more. So we have Ruth Ware here. That's excellent for me because I have quite a few Ruth Ware books that I need to get to. So maybe I use a Ruth Ware. Ellery Lloyd, I have read The Club. Did not enjoy it. There are other books of Ellery Lloyd's that I might want to add, but I'm more excited about getting Ruth Ware on there. Lisa Jewell, I'm excited for too. Sarah Pierce, I'm excited too because I do have The Retreat on my list that I have to read. I have read The Sanatorium, enjoyed that. I told you about Alex Michaelides and Steve Kavanaugh. I do have quite a few of his books on my TBR as well, so I have options. Basically what the blurb game does is it pushes something onto my TBR that I currently have and I want to get to. And it's just another little game that I like to play. And I don't go out of my way to buy the most recent Lisa Jewell book to read because it was blurred by that. No, I don't do that. So what I do is I look at the books I currently have. The whole purpose of this is to reduce my TBR. It's one of my reduction TBR games. So right now we have options. I can pick a Ruth Ware, I can pick a Lisa Jewell or a Sarah Pierce. Steve Kavanaugh, although I do have quite a few of his books, I don't think they're in any of my pressing lists. That's what I want to go to now and see my pressing list of things I want to read. So let's go to 26 and 26 and see if I have any Ruth Wares that need to jump on my list. Quite a few. The Woman in Suite 11, The Lying Game, which I've been trying to read for years. This might be the book that I go ahead and add. Okay, do I have any others on here of any of these authors? Lisa Jewell or Ruth Ware or Sarah Pierce? Let me see if I have any here. I don't have any here. Do I have any here? No. Do I have any here? I could have sworn I had that on here. I guess I don't. Okay, so it's going to be easy. It's going to be a Ruth Ware. And it's going to be The Lion Game. That's what I'm pushing forward. So, because it's saying Ruth Ware, The Woman in Cabin 10. And I have read that one. So that one would kind of trump in my mind. Because it's actually mentioning, you know, that she's the author of that book. But I've read that one already. So I guess I can pick now. And I want to pick The Lion Game because I need to get that book out of my TBR. So let's go ahead and now in the blurb game, we're going to add that. So the way that I do it is I go ahead and I'm using my brown pen again. I'm going to put a little box here for the wasp trap. I'm going to underline that. And then I'm going to do an arrow that says that that book yielded The Lion Game. And I'm going to check this off because I have read it. And then I'm going to highlight that. Hopefully it's this highlighter. We'll see. Yes. And this was again Sharpie S note. And so now this has come onto my official TBR. So I'll grab it from my shelf. I'll put it with my TBR pile and get that going in circulation. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and do that if I can for the other books. So Homeschooled, I don't have physically. I read that on my Kindle as a book I checked out from Libby. So I don't have access to looking through it. I don't overcomplicate my life with these things. If they don't have anything, I just keep going, you know, because I'm not going to search for the book physically to look for the blurbs. Like I'm not doing all that. So it's just meant to be like an easy, quick thing. Agatha Christie ones normally don't have much that I can add. Here we have a blurb by an author that I'm not familiar with. Let's look a little bit more to see if I can find another blurb. Nothing else is blurb, so nothing for that one. This Dracul Midnight Children Volume 1. Let's see if it's blurbed. Manga, again, a little difficult to find blurbs of. And I don't necessarily have a lot of the ones who blurb it on my list anyway. So it's going to be a no for this one. There's a no for this Edgar Allan Poe for Ligeia. I believe the book of the month titles are not blurbed, if I am not mistaken. They're not blurbed by anyone. Yeah, I don't think they do that. Go ahead and move this out of the way. Don't think so. Yeah, I know the Aardvark books are blurbed, but these are not. So that's pretty much all that we were able to get out of this 6 books. So I was able to get The Lion Game onto my TBR. So far this year, 3 books have come into my TBR because of the blurb game. Not too bad. All right. So I did get to the Read with Jenna book. And that was Homeschooled. And I gave it 5 stars. So I'm going to go ahead and write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm using again the extra fine Pilot razor points. This one's in red. Have not gotten to One and Only. Have not gotten to the X's. Have not gotten to Audition or the Count of Monte Cristo. I did, however, read My Husband's Wife, so that one was for the book troop. And we're using an orange for that. So let me go ahead and I did give this 4 stars, so I'm going to write down my 4 stars there. And I love these pens as well. This is the Uniball Eye in fine tip. And I think that's all I've got in there. I might need to add some of these. Let's see. Oh, I did need to add best offer wins. I forgot about that. So the April selection is best offer wins for Kayla's book club. I do need to add that on there. So let me go ahead and put that here, I think. I'm going to mark it right here. General. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I think that might work. Unless I want to do it like this, but then I can't write the month. So I think this is tough. Maybe I just leave it here, floating like this. I think I'm going to do them here so there's enough space at the bottom. All right, so this is going to be her April selection, I believe. Let me go ahead and put it right there. And I'll get a pink pen and mark this off as the April pick. All right, and this one is the Precise V5 rolling ball. All right, so let me go back to where we were. Let's see what else needs to get added here. Am I adding anything else? Don't think so. Oh yeah, The Secret Lives of Murderers' Wives. That goes here. Have to add that one there. And this does take a lot of planning on my part. I have to keep up with their Instagrams and see what they're adding. Sometimes I wish they all added it the first of the month, but it takes a little bit of researching for me to find these book clubs and when they're adding stuff. See, like right now I want to double check that it is the Good Morning America one. Let me go ahead and look. Okay, yeah, it's the Good Morning America March pick. There we go. So I went ahead and added that. Don't think there's anything else I need to add for this one. These are my TBR recommendations, the December ones. Haven't read these yet. I will be getting March ones very soon. For Reese's Book Club, what was added onto there? I could have sworn there was something. Yeah, so for Reese's Book Club, we're going to add Lady Tremaine. That is the March pick for Reese's Book Club. I don't think... Let's see. Yeah, I did not read, I believe, her other one for February, but I am interested in this one. For these book clubs, guys, like Reese's and Good Morning America and Read with Jenna and the Oprah book club, if I like the book and I'm interested or it's something I've had my eye on, I will add it to my TBR. If not, I don't even have spots for them for the months because I don't read all the books that they choose. As a matter of fact, I don't read most of the books that they choose. So only if I am interested do I add that. All right, so now we need to add our book orders for March. So that would be my Aardvark, my Nightworms, and my book of the month. So let me go ahead and start doing that. I will get my pen for this. And I do need to look on my phone what my choices have been. So I'll go ahead and start doing this now. And I'll fast forward you through it and then come back and explain to you what I have gotten. right, guys, so I went ahead and added my aardvark, Nightworms, and Book of the Month for March. So we'll continue down here with April. So I went ahead and added all of these. And yeah, if you see here, I did get Spoiled Milk and Aardvark and in my Nightworms package. So I'll probably be doing a giveaway for my subscribers for that. More information coming soon. But yeah, just some reminders. If you haven't tried Aardvark, I really recommend that you do. You get your first book for $4 if you use my code IsabelReads. So take advantage of that. I absolutely love my Aardvark subscriptions. All right, so then I'm going to add a couple of my pre-orders. I'm going to go ahead and look at those now. I have pre-ordered a few things since last month, so I'm going to be adding those. And I will fast forward you through this process, and then I'll come back to talk to you about it. All right, guys, so we're back from completing my pre-orders. If you see here, I did have to white out something because I realized I pre-ordered something twice. Don't ask, guys, but I left it blank. I went ahead and canceled the second pre-order, and now we're good. So these are my pre-ordered books. They're mostly books or sticker books and stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead now and move on to the recap for February. Let's go ahead and do that one. And I am going to do my recap for February, but I'm not going to carry out everything that I normally do for my recaps because I do still need to do one or two more reviews. I'm not ready just yet to set up my March, so we will do that the following time. So for now, I did read Appointment with Death. I'm going to mark that down. I did read Dracul Volume 1. I did read Ligeia. I did read Homeschooled. I did read The Wasp Trap. I did read My Husband's Wife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those were the 6 books I got to. I'm going to go ahead and update my stats a little bit. So I did read quite a few things. I'm thinking I want to do for this part here, I'm thinking I want to print out on a sticker my graph, my infographic that I use in my wrap-up videos. So that's something that I'm going to try to figure out if I can do. So I'm going to hold off on all of that until I figure out how to print that. And then these are so far what I've done for February. Homeschooled, appointment with death, my husband's wife. And I think I at least want to do the wasp trap, and I'm going to need like 2 pages for that. And then I should be ready for March. So yeah, I will do that next time when I do a book review. So now let me go ahead and try to see if we got bingo. I'm very excited to see if I was able to make it. Let's see if we were able to accomplish some bingo. So do I have a 2-word title? Do I have a 2-word title? I do not have a 2-word title. Alternate history. Do I have an alternate history? No. A collection of poetry? No. Something with an arrow on the cover? No. Under 200 pages, I definitely do. I have quite a few options for this, so I'm going to mark this one. All right. A snake on the cover. Oh my goodness, this is just too much. Yes, I have something with a snake on the cover. And for that one, I'm definitely going to write down already that this is going to be appointment with death. This one under 200 pages, I have a couple options, I think. Maybe not. Actually, I might just have Lygia. So I'm going to go ahead and write down Lygia. Okay. Day in the title. Do I have anything with day in the title? I do not. A couple on the cover. I actually do. Here is my couple. So Dracul. For these guys, I do reuse simply because it's a lot to get the bingo and I'm not reading as much. I'm reading like, you know, anywhere from like 6 to 10 books. So I do need to double up on that. So this is going to be Dracul Volume 1. Did I read a memoir? You bet I did. I read Homeschooled. Okay. Something by a Black author. I did not. Music. Something about music, I guess. No. A sequel. No. King in the title. No. A purple cover. No. A Canadian author. Is Alice Feeney Canadian? I think she's just, no, I think she's British. I know she's not American for sure, but I think she's British. Yeah, BBC journalist, so she's British. A heart on the cover. Does anything have a heart? A heart. No, no hearts on the cover. A romance, no. Black history, no. Super in the title, a political thriller. Set in Africa. I think we are, where are we here? Where are we? No, we're in Jerusalem. Okay. I knew this was a traveling one. I just couldn't remember where. Kite on the cover. Water on the cover. Yes, we do. The husband's wife. And dessert on the cover. No, we have broken plates, but no dessert. My husband's wife. All right, guys, we did not get bingo. Wow, what a bummer. I didn't get bingo last month either. These new bingo boards have been very difficult. My bingo boards last year had one less. It was like a 4x4, I believe. And yeah, this has been tough, guys. I got closer last month, actually. This was a tough one. No bingo for me. All right, so I will wrap up my last review. I'll try to print out my stats, and then I do need to print out little covers for whatever I end up not reviewing that I read this month. So I will make sure I do that once I've decided how many reviews I'm going to write. This is so new to me, the writing reviews. I know I've talked to you guys before on my channel about it. Oh, I do need to put my husband's wife here, though. Where's my other one? Am I missing one? I'm still missing one, aren't I? I have written reviews on my Goodreads, but I have never included in my reading journal, even though I've done a reading journal for years, I have not included a review. And this is my first year trying it out, and I'm obsessed with it, guys. I'm really enjoying it, but it is messing with my like pacing of my reading journal. So I do find that I can't just update like twice a month. I do have to update more often to get all of my reviews in. But, you know, it is what it is. It's something that I don't ever see myself going back on. I really, really am enjoying writing my book reviews. So that's pretty much my update for February, sans a few things. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to do some journaling of your own and get ahead or get caught up on your reading journal. Let me know how your February month went. Did you read any cool things? Do you have any recommendations for me? I would love to talk to you in the comments down below. If you're still not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, guys. It really helps me. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you in my next video. Bye!